What is up, everyone? I am Joshua Banks, driver of the number 35 Mako Tool Supra.
Comes back, he's gonna send it to the inside. They're 3 wide for the race lead. They're gonna Sean Banks is gonna win it. Unbelievable.
And also co-owner of M&J Distributors for the sponsor of Saturday Night Racing. So I just want to thank every single one of you for tuning into tonight's race. I hope you will put on a good show for you guys. I hope that you will enjoy it. So if you do, make sure you drop a thumbs up to V-Speed and subscribe to them, because they, as y'all know, if you haven't already, they put on some great broadcasts. So I'll make this short and sweet. The main reason for sponsoring Saturday Night Racing League is because I've been with these guys for a long time. I've raced with a lot of them. I've been through some rough times, some good times, and arguments and everything like that. But still, grand scheme of things, been through a lot of these guys, and I really do like where this league's going. I want to support it. They've given a lot to the league already, and I think, you know, I'm capable to support back. So that's what we're doing, and we want to keep this league free, you know, for people to join, to have a good time, come in and race and just have fun, you know, and that's what we're all about. So that's the main reason, and that's all I really have to say about it. So I hope you do enjoy the race, enjoy the season coming up. We are hopefully going to put on a great season for you guys. Also, make sure to check out my YouTube channel, Banksy the iRacer. Link will be in the description. Check out, and you can see my point of view, see what's happening on my end. If you want to watch it, it's completely fine. If not, no big deal. So come on over, hang out after the broadcast of this race, and hopefully we'll see you over there. If not, enjoy it, and I'll see you guys on track.
Welcome to the World Center of Racing here tonight from Daytona International Speedway for the opening race of the Saturday Night Racing League, a Challenger Series, live tonight on V-Speed. 60 laps here. It's 150 miles. We've got 3 tire sets available. Not going to be too much of an issue for most of these drivers, but if you have enough accidents, you might wear the tires out. We got 2 green light checkered attempts, 80% fuel loads. This is the opening race of the series. Just 10 races. Here we go, kicking things off for the Challenger Series for Saturday Night Racing League. Green flags in the air. We're off and away. And we got cars spinning, huge pile up. Logan Threlkeld with the advantage. Here goes Matthew Radford, gonna jump to the outside. It's gonna be a drag race, and Radford's gonna win it.
Wow, what a finish. Man, Radford just timed that perfectly.
He's going to come into 3 and 4 with about a half a second lead. Out of turn 4 for the final time. Across the line, it's Brian Chambliss with his first win of the season. And Jordan Trask, and they battle it out. They're going to get side by side. They're actually running it down here. What was Philip Brewer doing? Really trying to get to the outside again. Not quite able to do it. Bryce clears him, but there goes Philip Brewer. Looks like Bryce Shoemaker is going to have no pressure from behind. Bryce Shoemaker is going to take the victory, 128 laps without a pit stop. One-thousandth of a second across that line. Chuck Sweeney led that lap by. The white flag is out. Final time around for the Challenger Series at Michigan. The 2-mile speedway.
If you're Dakota Boy here, what do you do right now?
Look at the block down the backstretch.
You have to send it in hard here on the bottom, but Ferrara's got the preferred line.
And they're 3-4 wide back here in the 10th position. But off in turn 4 for the final time, side by side. A door check, 3 wide for the lead. Ferrara is going to get the win at Michigan.
He's loose down there, though. He's really sent it in there on the bottom here. Caleb trying to complete the pass here to grab that lead back.
A little bit of a slide job. Here comes Chuck Sweeting on his way by. Caleb Weekly, after dominating here at Bristol, is going to take the win.
We'll see them both take the high line, and he's in the back bumper of the 9.
Oh, man, I think he's going to hang on, though.
Chambliss able to hold on to it, keeps the momentum. The 44 does not have enough as Brian Chambliss takes home race number 10. Dakota Floyd finishing in the 6th position as our championship winner here tonight.
You're watching watching the Saturday Night Racing Challenger Series, only on V-Speed.
Good afternoon, race fans. It's Saturday night, and you know what that means. It is time for race number 1 on the evening for the Saturday Night Racing League. Starting off here with the Challenger Series at Auto Club. New voice to you here for this one. It's myself, Logan Threlkeld, and next to me is, as always, Jeff Wright up here in the V-Speed booth. Jeff, how you doing tonight?
I'm excited. I mean, this is a really fun racetrack, Logan. It's wore out, it's bumpy, it's fast. I think we're going to be in for a great show tonight. Can't wait to get this one underway.
Auto Club is one of those tracks that always puts on a fantastic show, no matter what league you're racing with. Let's take a quick look at what we've got here at Auto Club. Fontana, California, 2 miles around, 14 degrees of banking in the corners, and that standard 4-corner tri-oval setup opened June 20th, 1997. Unfortunately, no longer standing, but we luckily still have it here on the iRacing service. It's week number 3 here. We had our 2 first races at Daytona and Texas. First off week here for the Challenger Series. Auto Club tonight, Phoenix next week, followed up by Atlanta. Dip right into our point situation here. Judson Curtis with 1 win on the season takes the lead in our point standing. Bryce Shoemaker with a couple good races back to back. He'll put it there in second place. Timothy Peters in third. Matt Shanoski tied for third with 69 points. And we've got a 3-way tie for what would be fourth. Austin Belkey, Stephen Davis, Caleb Weekly, all with 66 points. Justin Carey back in 8th. Brandon Wallace in 9th. Jordan Trask will make up your top 10 in the current point standings. Philip Brewer, Rob Denton, Dakota Floyd, Jeremy Reed, Justin Ritchie, Edward Fiedler, Keith Shoemaker, Rob Hamp, Matt Dominique will make up your top 20. Now, Jeff, you've had a top-down view so far on this Challenger Series. What's been your take on the first 2 races so far, and what should we expect coming into tonight?
Yeah, just looking at the different track types that we've been to so far. Obviously, Daytona, starting our season at a super speedway. You know, it can be chaos, and a lot of times these point standings, the first few weeks can look a lot different than they're going to look by the time we get down to the end of the regular season, get ready for the chase. And it's about the guys that have been consistent, and you're seeing that some of the guys towards the top, like Bryce Shoemaker right there in second. He's somebody that's been able to get good finishes each week. Somebody you didn't see in that top 20 was Noah Mahalski, probably the favorite to win last week at Texas. Got into an incident on the back straightaway, navigating a lap car, and actually didn't get the finish. So, it's all about the guys that can, find their way through to the end and get the points, because this is the first season that we got this playoff format, and you don't want to dig yourself too deep of a hole. Otherwise, you could potentially miss the playoffs.
That you could, but it looks like it's time to take our grid, Jeff. Let's get right down to business and settle out where we're going to start this race here tonight. Bring up our grid here momentarily as Morgan Cook sets the pole on the night with a 41.229 next to Philip Brewer in the 44. Second row is going to consist of Dakota Floyd in the 57 next to the 79 of Jordan Trask. Third row here, once things maybe catch up with me. There we go. There's the second row. Third row is going to consist of Mark Cofield in the 28 next to the 19 of Michael Muncy. Seventh is going to go to Justin Ritchie in the 55 next to Noah Mahalski, the 03, who Jeff just mentioned, up here in the top 10 starting spots for the night. Last but not least in our top 10, ninth goes to Brian Hennings in the 74, and 10th to Rob Hamp in the 18.
In the 11th starting position is going to be Keith Shoemaker in the 88. Alongside him, starting 12th, Judson Curtis, race winner from Daytona just a few weeks ago. Max Cost, he will start 13th tonight, alongside Bryce Shoemaker in 14th. Caleb Weekly will start in the 15th position, alongside Austin Belkey in 16th. And then it's going to be Tad Dabney Starting 18th, missed Austin Belkey there in the 24. He'll start 17th. And then rounding out your top 20, we have Jeremiah Holt alongside Stefan Davis.
About 15 more cars to go here. Jake Mackey in the 10 will take the 21st starting position next to the 20 of Timothy Peters. 32 of Chris Root in 23rd next to Brandon Wallace in 24th. Rob Denton in 93 machine goes to 25th starting spot. V-Speed's very own Bradley Cooper in the 2 tonight, starting out in 26th. 27th, Broderick Vaklovic in the 07 next to the 22 of Michael Jones. Matt Shanoski in the 31 next to Jeremy Reed in the 94s. We're green flag racing down here. We'll cycle through these. Ben Lafter, Chad Klinger, Benjamin Richards, and Edward Fiedler will round out the rest of our field here tonight. Green flag racing already underway. Morgan Cook, the pole setter, out to a great jump.
Yeah, so far looking pretty good in that V-Speed machine, and that's somebody I think we're definitely going to have to look out for tonight. Runs really good at these types of racetracks. But I think the biggest thing tonight is going to be who are going to be the guys that can save their stuff the best and be fast on the long run. We saw kind of a high tire wear track at Texas last week. You really saw Noah Mahalski, and I believe it was our race winner from last week. Blanking on the name here. But those two really separated themselves, and so they were able to take care of the tires, and then obviously they pulled away from the rest of the field. I think you could see that probably tonight as well. Auto Club probably actually higher tire wear than Texas, so look for the guys to save those tires.
That race winner 2 weeks ago that you're looking for is Richard Holland, who is not on the field tonight. So unfortunately, we will not see a back-to-back defense for race wins here tonight. It has not settled down at all up here at the front. Morgan Cook got a good jump, but back to that back bumper there. The 44, Philip Brewer, got about a car separating, but he's under fire right now from the 79 of Jordan Trash. Noah Mahalski, the 03, way up high on the racetrack through 1 and 2.
Yeah, and you kind of saw Dakota Floyd there clip the apron a little bit too. You got to be really careful with that. At this type of racetrack, you want to get towards the bottom there, really close to that apron, but you don't want to touch it. It can really upset the car, potentially get you sideways, slide the tires, and then you're kind of battling, having hot, slick tires the entirety of the run. But this is just fun to watch here. You can see all the different lanes here that Auto Club Speedway has to offer. These drivers are really going to utilize every piece of this racetrack, especially turns 1 and 2. It seems like you can really utilize the top there a lot better than you can in 3 and 4. And you're already seeing some of the guys moving up towards the middle to the top already. Our leaders kind of staying towards the bottom, probably trying to save tire, but that's what makes this racetrack really fun, is there's so many different lanes to choose from.
It's going to migrate all throughout this race as the track temperature will change throughout the race. We've already seen it in practice and qualifying. Sometimes that cloud coverage comes through and helps out cooling down the track surface. Right now, it's side by side, about 3 rows deep. Mahalski and Trask side by side. We have Michael Muncie in the 19, Dakota Floyd right now, who just dropped below the apron. They'll continue to be side by side here. Good battles already forming. It seems like they get pretty well single-filed out coming through the tri-oval. But then once it gets back down into the corner, there's so many different lines that you can run to try to get that advantage. You'll get some side-by-side action through the corners.
And we're looking at some of the guys that are already, pretty big movers so far tonight. Noah Mahalski already up to 4th, battling for that position right now as we speak. Started in the 8th position. Talked about him a little bit earlier in the broadcast about having pretty much the dominant car of the day 2 weeks ago at Texas Motor Speedway. Wasn't able to finish it out after getting collected in an incident. So I know he's going to be hungry tonight. He's already on the charge here towards the front, but we got a battle for the race lead. Jordan Trask trying to take it away from Morgan Cook.
Trask on the inside, Cook high on the outside. Cook's going to get the momentum out of turn number 1 and 2, get right back in front by about a car length. 79 able to get back to that back bumper, driving that corner in a little bit deeper. He's going to have to keep in mind the tires as he does so. But Jordan Trask just taking an opportunity to test the limits as to what he can do out here.
another driver, we're speaking to Jordan Trask right now. He qualified on the pole 2 weeks ago at Texas Motor Speedway. Had that taken away from him early, but ran up inside the top 3 pretty much the entire night. I know he had a bit of an incident on one of the pit cycles getting into it with another car, kind of set him back a little bit. And we went green to the end that race. We really had no shot at, re-racking him, restacking him. So, I mean, that could be the case tonight. This Challenger Series has done such an awesome job. So much green flag racing. I mean, between Daytona and Texas, I mean, maybe 3 cautions, between those 2 races. And I expect more of the same tonight. A lot of room here at Auto Club Speedway. You can see that the aggression's kind of picking up here towards the front as you got the 19 of Michael Muncie working on Noah Mahalski there towards the bottom. But just really cool to see all these cars running different lanes. You don't get that at every track in iRacing. And so when we get to a track here like Auto Club, just a lot of fun to watch.
Well, whenever you have a surface that you could easily fit, a 5-wide situation pretty well all around the track, aside from maybe the tri-oval area. It's a little bit more narrow there, but down the backstretch and through these wide corners, you can get a lot of action all throughout. It's just a matter of who can control the throttle and keep the line that they want to keep, especially out there on the high side. A little bit further back here, Judson Curtis battling with the 28 of Mark Cofield. Cofield dives it way down to the inside. He meets the back bumper of Dakota Floyd. Kills the momentum there for Cofield. He's able to get up, not quite. He didn't take advantage of the opportunity to get in front of Judson Curtis.
Yeah, you saw Dakota Floyd actually catch the wall a little bit there. I don't think it was too hard, but it was definitely enough to really slow his momentum. See if we can get a shot here of that side of the race car. It looks pretty clean, so I think he's going to be okay, but you're going to see that is going to cost him a few positions there. He's going to slot back in line and try to make a charge back up towards the front. But we got quite a bit of viewers right now in the live stream here, Logan, and I'm interested to see all the viewers drop those race winner picks in the chat. Who do you have winning tonight here at the Auto Club Speedway? And Logan, we didn't really get a chance yet to make our picks, so I don't know if you want to go first, you want me to go first, but I feel like we should probably make those picks.
Naturally, I'm going to have to go with my co-driver on the season. That's going to be the 2 of Bradley Cooper. We've decided to allow Mr. Cooper some time on the racetrack, that beautiful V-Speed car there. Regular host here for both of our Saturday night races. But co-driving this Challenger season, get him some time on track finally. It's well-deserved after previous season of broadcasting this weekend and week out. How about yourself, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, looking up and down, the driver list here, I mean, partially, I want to say probably Morgan Cook's going to be tough to beat, although I think maybe he had a connection issue. He kind of blinked out there for a little bit. He will retain the lead. Looking up and down this list, I know Noah Mahalski's hungry. Feels like he probably should have won last week at Texas. Got it stolen away, but I got to go with my gut here. I'm going to stick with the 51 here, Morgan Cook, repping the V-Speed car. I think he just knows what it takes here to be fast on the long run. He knows how to execute those pit stops. We're going to have 2 of those tonight, so that's going to be a big factor as well. So go ahead and give me that 51, Morgan Cook.
I'll accept that as well, considering Cook also a teammate for me in this series. So either one of those is a good outcome, but right now it's an all-out battle for 3rd place between the 19 of Michael Muncie, the 44 Philip Brewer there on the low side. Noah Mahalski also had his nose in there coming across the tri-oval. 3-horse race for 3rd place. Jordan Trask still able to hold down 2nd right now, but not clear by any means, as there's a caution on track. That's going to be the 18 of Rob Ham.
Oh, yeah, big impact, big hit. That's going to be major damage. You can see on the right front tire, it's not turning at all, so that car is going to be destroyed. It's going to be out of this race. I'll have to see who else got collected in this, but definitely a tough break here for Rob Hamp. Finds himself middle 3 wide here and comes together.
It's not quite clear there. That was the 28 that got into the right rear of Hamp. That's Mark Cofield, who we saw having some issues battling earlier. There's one more that kind of got collected in that. That's going to be the 94, Jeremy Reed. Just a light bump there. Take it back here, coming down the backstretch for Reed, just to get a POV of what the 94 saw here. Got contact with the 64 there, sent him down the track. A little bit of a blink there for him. That was Ben Laughter that Reed got into to start that sequence. See if we can find the 64 now. A little bit of damage there on the right rear. Overall, could be way worse. Certainly not going to be happy. We'll likely see Laughter come down pit lane. Pick up some damage repair here. Yeah, there's everybody already coming down pit lane.
Yeah, no surprise there. I mean, Auto Club wears the tires out probably more than anywhere we're going to go to this season. Maybe Old Atlanta would maybe be a little bit more than Auto Club. I mean, they're both such worn out surfaces that really chew the tires. So I think it's a no-brainer here to come get tires at this point in the race. Only problem is these guys only got 3 sets of tires up on the wall tonight. So if cautions kind of, periodically fall every 10, 15 laps, that could spell trouble for some of these guys. And then you're going to see the strategy get mixed up. You're going to have guys that want to save those, for the end of the race. And you're going to have guys that want the track position now. Guys towards the back might come take another set. And then you're pretty much one set to the end. And we can only go about, I want to say 35 laps, probably, max on fuel. So could get interesting now with where this caution fell.
Very well could. And, that's one thing we did kind of glaze over here. We'll circle back to it. Race analysis now on your screen. 75 laps scheduled for tonight as we're already getting ready to start lap 15. 55 miles per hour down the pit road. 4 tire sets available. That's 1 on the car, 3 over the wall with 2 green-white checkered attempts later in the race if needed. 80% fuel load for these Xfinity cars and the iRacing fixed setup here for race number 3 at Auto Club. It's already starting out a little bit different than what we saw in weeks 1 and 2, way earlier on the first caution of the night.
Yeah, and it gives these guys a chance to really try some things. And speaking of that, Matt Dominique there in the 25, he is going to be the race leader, elected not to pit. So he's going to be on the older tires. I think Austin Belkey's in the same spot here. Actually, it looks like a few of these guys, actually. I want to say, I don't know if Dakota Floyd, if he just beat Morgan Cook out of pit lane or if he stayed out as well, but top 4, potentially. Top 3, I think, definitely stayed out. And maybe Dakota Floyd as well.
Dominique, Belkey, Baklovic all stayed out. 15 laps on this current stint. Floyd, Cook, and Brewer with the shortest times in pit road, as well as Bradley Cooper in the 2 back in 15th. So it looks like maybe fuel only or right sides there for Floyd, Cook, Brewer, and Cooper. Everybody else looks like enough time in the box to take a full set of Goodyear tires and top off the fuel. Coming down the backstretch now, pace car lights are off. This time by will be back under green flag conditions for the first restart of the night. Interesting to see how this goes with those older tires up front. Gonna have to keep an eye on Dominique, Belkey, and Baklovic to see if they have any issues with spinning coming off of this restart.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see here. I'm gonna guess that the guys that take tires here are gonna be able to pass these guys very quickly. Got to be on your toes though. It could get messy if you don't judge the speed correctly.
Absolutely can. Into the Geico restart zone they go. Green flag is out. Big spin from the bottom line. Both of those front cars, Dominique Baklovic. Belkey got loose as well. Dominique able to collect it back up, and he's put a charge way out ahead in the pack. There's the 51 of Morgan Cook already up here on that low line. He's got all the grip that he could ask for right now. He's going to easily overtake the 25 of Dominique. Try to put some distance now between himself and the 19 of Muncie. Muncie's going to be trapped on the inside coming into turn number 3, as well as Dakota Floyd right behind in the 57.
Really tight there. Floyd, Mahalski almost getting into it there for a second. Mahalski had to back out, but we're 3 wide coming off the corner here. Jordan Trask, 79 in the middle, maybe looking to be 4 wide there towards the bottom. I believe that's going to be the 63.
Oh, there he goes.
60, Stephen Davis.
Stephen Davis into the right rear of the 55. It's going to be Justin Ritchie who got sent around in this one. Cautions breeding cautions early here tonight. We'll take it back on the V-Speed instant replay. Get a different angle of this one. Right about here, there's contact made. Luckily, that's all it's going to do. Stephen Davis into the right rear there. But nobody else collected in this one. Get an onboard here. Sitting inside the 55 machine. There's the contact, spun it around, hard on the brakes, downshifting, keep that car as low on the track as you can. However, he is gonna be upset. Remember, he realizes that those fresh tires, well, they're pretty scuffed in now.
Yeah, and only having two, the rest of the race now having taken one already, you would think that he probably won't come down pit lane and put a set on. I think he probably just got to try to almost limp it through this run. I mean, it's not going to handle well, but I think, taking another set here and only having one the rest of the way, and we got, more than 60 to go yet. I just feel like that's not gonna work out. So, unfortunate circumstances there, but luckily they weren't able to get a whole lot of damage. So now you're going to see some of those guys that stayed out last time, like Matt, Dominique, and a few others. They're going to come to pit lane now, and they're going to put on tires. And they probably wanted that to go a little bit longer than it did, just so that they could pit now. The others would stay out, and they'd have a little bit more of a tire advantage. But with the caution happening so quick there, I really don't see these tires, like Belky and Dominique and those other guys. The tires aren't going to be too much of an advantage now. They're just pretty much going to lose the track position, unfortunately.
It's an odd strategy call. I can't say I blame him for giving it a shot by any means. Just did not play out this time, but see if Stephen Davis keeps his running position. He'll get an EOL for that one, see how race control deems that incident there. But current running order, back to Morgan Cook at the front of the field. Michael Muncy will start on the outside on this restart. Dakota Floyd will be on the inside second row. Noah Mihalski outside of the second row. Philip Brewer, Jordan Trask will make up row 3. Stephen Davis, Caleb Weekly in row 4. Timothy Peters, he's a big mover here so far tonight, up 13 positions, as well as Stephen Davis. Up to 9th for the 20 machine. The 54, Bryce Shoemaker, start here in 10th. Another big mover, Bradley Cooper in the 2. He was feeling pretty confident coming into this race. See him already up here around that top 10. Looking pretty good starting out here early.
Absolutely, yeah. This was a track that I know Bradley Cooper had circled on the calendars. This is one of his favorite places. Always tends to run really well here. Didn't get the qualifying that he probably wanted. Obviously starting up front is always a big advantage. Wasn't able to do that, but I mean, starting 26th up to 12th, that's a pretty good run so far. A couple other guys, like you said, Timothy Peters up a few positions, 22nd to 9th. Bryce Shoemaker, 14th to 10th, finds himself in the top 10 right now. And Bryce Shoemaker, of all the guys running in the field that had competed in Cup Series, previous seasons, he's got the best finish of anybody in the field currently, with a 7th place finish in the Cup Series. I believe that was last season, season 3. So look for Bryce Shoemaker to be a factor here. Always one of those drivers that tends to kind of find his footing on the long run. That's where he kind of finds his advantage. So if this thing can kind of get spread out a little bit, and we can get some long green flag runs in, some pit stops, Bryce Shoemaker might be another name that we're going to have to look out for.
Absolutely. Shoemaker, always a threat out here on the field to make a good finishing effort. What do you say whenever we come to this restart here, Jeff, that we hop on board with somebody a little bit further back in the pack? I'm thinking the 93 of Rob Denton, and see what it looks like, more about that halfway point in the pack on a restart.
Absolutely, and he's got one of the best driver cams that we're probably going to see tonight as well, showcasing that insane sim rig that he's got, and also sponsor of the RSR Driver Cam challenge that we have in the Cup Series. So I think nobody else would be better to ride on board here for this restart than Rob Denton.
There it is with that RSR Driver Cam, those lights flashing. I don't know how he does it with all that. But into the Geico restart zone we go, and we're away once more. It's pretty tame back here for Rob Denton. Oh, already getting shoved 3 wide. At the 88 there, that's going to be Judson Curtis, the 29, who peeks the inside between Rob Denton and Keith Shoemaker. Keeping it nice and easy down here on that bottom line. I'd say overall success for the whole pack on that restart.
Yeah, look towards the back a little bit. They got stacked up a little bit, but they were able to manage and get through it. But I mean, Auto Club being such a rough racetrack, I mean, you can see it in Rob's sim rig. He is bouncing all over in that seat, through the corners, down the back straightaway. It just shows how rough this track really is. And I mean, to ride in a sim rig full motion like that, I'd be pretty sore after a race at Auto Club, that's for sure.
It is dedication 100% there. Right now, it's Michael Muncy taking the outside of Morgan Cook. Gonna have position, but man, Cook seemed to woe it up quite a bit down there on the bottom.
Yeah, and you can tell Muncy wants this position. This is the battle for clean air. And sometimes, if you're the leader, you're kind of trying to manage the gap a little bit. Only run as hard as you need to run, but looks like Michael Muncy wants to take it away, and he will. He'll lead this time by at Auto Club Speedway.
So Muncy on the high line. Mahalski follows suit. He'll look to the outside of Morgan Cook through 1 and 2. Got a battle back behind still with Floyd on the outside. Philip Brewer down low. Stephen Davis, Jordan Trask, they've been swapping spots back and forth, still side by side. There's the 63 of Max Cost entering the picture as well.
Yeah, and speaking of Max Cost, he's one of the only drivers in this field to have led laps at this racetrack in the Cup Series. The only one. So Max Cost, I believe, led 3 laps back here in Season 2. Shows he can, navigate this track pretty well, and he's up in the fence a little bit there, but I mean, he's up a good amount of positions, 13th to 8th, finding himself right here in the top 10. Caleb Weekly just behind him. Got to slip a few spots, but he was just up in the 8th spot. Now he's going to fall back to 9th.
We're temporarily 3 wide there with Davis, the 44 of Brewer, the 79 of Trask. Across the tri-oval, 3 wide there. They sorted it out before turn number 1. Davis getting the advantage. Trask and Brewer still nearly side by side. 79 with the advantage, and another caution out on track. Where is this one at?
Not able to quite see where that one came from. Maybe a little bit further in the pack.
Unsure here. There's Brandon Wallace coming around late into turn 3 and 4. Let's just take it back here. Oh, yeah, that's going to be it. That 99 is crab walking hard.
Yeah, it looks like I'm seeing that he got together a little bit with Bradley Cooper off the exits of one of the corners, kind of squeezed Cooper in the fence, and then...
Not sure why I can't get a good replay of this one.
Oh, terrible damage, too. I'm seeing on the replay Chris Rude heavily involved there. He hit him a ton. Bradley Cooper has a decent amount of damage as well. So unfortunate for Bradley. I know he's really looking forward to this race. Obviously having an incredible drive up through the field to this point. But just going to come together here on corner exit. Let's see if we can catch the replay of it.
Send it back a little bit further. We got Cooper with a clean car now. There's contact with Wallace. It's down the back stretch and just gets it in the back bumper there. Which driver is that one from? Take it back here again. See if we can get a good number here. Ah, Rob Denton might be the culprit in this one.
Yeah, he gets a little bit of damage to the front of the nose. He didn't spin, though. You can see it's pushed in a little bit there on the front. We'll have to see how much of that he can get repaired. You saw Matt Dominique slip there through the inside wall. But Brandon Wallace, I feel like, has got the heaviest damage of anybody. Maybe Chris Rude, too. Chris Rude really it hit the cars hard there. So I'm going to guess his night is probably going to be coming to an end. So couple good competitive drivers back there, just being bystanders of what happened, and they're going to get damaged. They're going to get collected. Try to bring it to pit lane here. One of the pros about, how big this racetrack is that, you can typically get a little bit more damage repaired here, under a pace lap. Than you could say, like a Martinsville or a Bristol where it's near impossible. So at least these guys will have a chance to try to repair the car without, losing a lap. Unless they get required repairs, then they're going to sit in that pit stall, probably will lose a lap. But yeah, this race is getting a little bit messy. I mean, compared to Texas last week, obviously went green to the end. Daytona, I think we had one or two cautions. So this is kind of out of the ordinary for these guys. These guys have done such a great job up until this point, but Auto Club allows for 3-4 wide racing, and you're seeing guys get really aggressive, and people are going to come together. That just happens.
That is it. It's Rubbins racing. That's really the only way you can say it, but looks like we're doubling back up here. Pace car lights are off. We'll get back under green here momentarily. But is there anybody you want to get a quick word with, Jeff, while we've got just a backstretch to a couple corners?
Yeah, I'll see if I can maybe pull up the former series champion in Dakota Floyd here. If I can scroll down here and I can find him, see if I can pull Dakota Floyd. It's Logan Jeff up in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy, driver?
I hear you guys.
Well, it's been a little chaotic out there, a little bit more cautions than I think we were used to. How's the car driving? And you feel like you got something here for the end of the race here? Maybe go get yourself a win?
I'm definitely trying. This thing is driving super tight. The wind is blowing across our noses in 3 and 4. This thing is tight. I took 2 tires on a pit stop, hoping to loosen it up a little bit, but it's not driving too differently. So we're going to see what we can do on these 2 tires and hopefully get some clean air.
All right. Well, it looks like you're going to go back green here pretty shortly, so I better not keep you too long. Thanks for talking with us, Dakota, and good luck the rest of the way.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
That was Dakota Floyd in the 57 here. He's going to line up in the 4th spot, getting ready for that pace car to take that hard turn here off the banking and see if we can't get this race back underway and get some good green flag racing.
Absolutely. Pace car is off into that Geico restart zone one more time here. And away goes the 19 of Muncie, leaving Noah Mahalski in the dust on that restart.
Mahalski going to get a little bit of help there from the 51 there of Morgan Cook, kind of pushing him down. They're going to clear Dakota Floyd here close. Dakota's going to rip it really hard here around the top, probably stay even, maybe pull Morgan Cook here on exit. But yeah, what a launch that Michael Muncie got in that 19 machine. He really put a gap on these guys. That's about 3-4 car lengths.
And nearly 4 wide further back here into turn number 3. Man, the action is hot back here in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, and you can tell that, we talked to Dakota and talked about the race car being tight. I'm starting to see the sun kind of come out, over the clouds, and now that's going to heat the track up a little bit. Maybe that helps the handling, but I mean, you can tell that these guys are struggling with the tight race car, and I think that's partially why you're seeing so many guys try to use different lanes, trying to get that car yacht out somehow, try to drive it off the right rear. But so far, it's Michael Muncie in the 19 leading the way down the back straightaway.
Michael Muncie followed by Mahalski. Kind of appears that it might be working together a little bit here. We've got Morgan Cook, Dakota Floyd, they're in line as well. Then it starts with the 2x2 once more between Jordan Trask and Stephen Davis. Right behind Philip Brewer, where he's been lurking all night waiting for an opportunity to get up into the top 5.
Yeah, and Philip Brewer, one of those drivers, had a good run at Texas, kind of a quiet run.
Contact.
Was able to put it safely inside the top 3. Looking to do more of the same here. Trying to start his year off, with consistency, continue to knock off some good finishes. That's why he finds himself, in a pretty good point spot at the moment. So this battle for the lead, though, starting to heat up just a little bit. Noah Mahalski getting underneath the 19 here. They're going to have a drag race down the front straightaway.
On board with the 51 of Cook with a perfect view of this battle ahead. Muncie on the outside, Mahalski on the inside here. Mahalski's going to get the advantage, but just not enough to get clear. Muncie's going to drive around him on the outside on corner exit.
Yeah, that's really tight racing, but Noah Mahalski going to try to dump some air on that spoiler there and try to pull him back a little bit. He's going to send it down here to the bottoms in turns 3 and 4. But Michael Muncy sending it even harder. They're going to be dead even here on exit. Another drag race down the front here. Noah Mahalski got the lap led last time by. It's going to be close again. Boy, that's about a dead even tie right there. I don't know if I can call that.
0.001 is what I saw across the line there. Muncy held on to it, but Mahalski got the drive into turn number 1. Again, just not enough to get clear of the 19, but maybe here on corner exit, he will keep it down low. He's not going to risk it. Didn't get the right call from the spotter there saying you can go high.
Yeah, still pretty much dead even, although Noah has more ground this lap than he did last time by. So I think he's in the preferred spot as far as being able to roll the bottom and save the tires a little bit. He is going to pull him a little bit on exit here, but now you're going to see Muncy try to get down to the quarter panel here and try to dump some air on the spoiler. Really close at the line. Mahalski's going to get it that time by 16 thousandths of a second. And this is getting good. This battle for the lead is fun to watch right now.
And not to mention the battle behind between the 57 of Floyd and the 79 of Trask. You get glimpses of it here every time we come by, nearly door to door through the corners for those two drivers. Morgan Cook sandwiched right in the middle of both of these battles, kind of benefiting from both of them as well. He's put some distance on the 4th place position while catching up to the top 2 right now.
Yeah, and Morgan Cook, like you mentioned, is probably just sitting here, thinking, let these guys battle it out. I'll sit back here, I'll save my tires a little bit and hope that these guys battle hard enough that they're going to fall off in the long run, and then he can slip around and start running away with this thing. So Morgan Cook's really the only guy not under pressure right now until the top 10, not battling anybody. Everybody else 2 by 2 all the way back to 10th place on back.
Lots of contact with the wall off of turn number 2 there. Looked like Stephen Davis there, maybe a little bit of contact. Right behind you had another driver. Can't quite catch the number there on that Toyota Supra. Timothy Peters, maybe. That's what it is. Number 20 there on the high line. A little bit of connection issue for Caleb Weekly in the 13.
3 wide for the race lead. How about this? Morgan Cook's going to go up the middle. He says, I'm going to take it away from both of you. Going to clear Muncy. Now he's going to work on Noah Mahalski, and he does. What a move there by the 51. Just waited, timed it perfectly, shot right through the middle. Back to the race lead goes the number 51.
Just because that is worthy of a second look here. Got the slide job completed on the 19 machine. Able to pinch down on the 03. A good solid drive off of the corner for Cook.
Mahalski's finally going to clear Michael Muncy in the 19 there, but after the fact that the 51 gets around them both, so he took really good advantage of that situation. Saw those guys battling and built up a good run, shot the middle, and he's finding himself race leader. Still some good battles back here too, though. You see Jordan Trask there in the 79. He's battling with the 57 of Dakota Floyd. Looks like Floyd's going to win that position over. And I believe that's Stephen Davis there in the 60. Had that little incident earlier, but he's still digging. He's still in it right now. Doesn't look like much damage at all in that race car.
Nothing too bad right now. On board now with Timothy Peters, who's currently sitting in the 7th spot. Bouncing back and forth between 6th and 7th.
Yeah, he's top
16
right
positions right now.
How about this? Philip Brewer in the middle, Stephen Davis on the bottom, Timothy Peters 3 wide on the top here as they go off into turn 1. This is getting tight. These guys are trying to take as much as they can. Stephen Davis moving up a little bit into Brewer. They touch. They're going to make it through, though. Wow.
Whew. Got a little hairy there for just a second, but luckily sorting itself out. This is going to put Peters outside of the top 10. The battle's still fierce here all throughout the field. There's no shortage of action anywhere you look. A little bit further back now, Matt Shinosky looking to close the gap on the 73 of Jeremiah Holt, who's looking to hunt down the 74 of Brian Hennings. 3 drivers separated by about 0.2 of a second or so. Shinosky with a big send to the inside there. Holt holding that middle line, kind of pinches down on him. Hennings holding it way high up on the racetrack. going to allow the 64 there, Ben Laughter, to get a good drive off and get right back up on the bumper of Hennings.
And as we were watching that, the battle for the race lead actually swapped hands. Noah Mahalski has found himself ahead now of Morgan Cook, and he's going to lead this time by. So Noah Mahalski, although he was battling really tough there with Michael Muncie, who's now falling back to 5th, seems like he's still got enough tire on that race car. But look at this, not Morgan Cook, but Dakota Floyd electing to rip the high line here at Auto Club Speedway, see if he can build a big run. That's another driver I'm keeping my eye on tonight as well. Looks like he was kind of saving his stuff while the leaders were really battling hard, and now he finds himself in 3rd place here within striking distance. I don't think this battle for the race lead is over yet. These guys are really going at it.
What do you say, Jeff? About a little over halfway through this race now. Say we get loud here with FireStorm. That was a fantastic opportunity there for a little bit of a get loud segment. Good hard racing all throughout. Not a whole lot of action in terms of passing. Noah Mahalski, though, has driven away from the 51 of Morgan Cook, now up over half a second of distance between 1st and 2nd. Cook falling to the clutches of 3rd place. Jordan Trask finally made his way around Dakota Floyd in the 57.
And I've seen this 3rd place position swap hands several times there in the last few laps. I mean, we saw Dakota Floyd actually get around both these guys up on the high side, but then shortly after, they were able to pass them right back. So just fun to watch these guys battle back and forth, trading positions. While all this is happening, though, Noah Mahalski's looking in the mirror, and he sees all those cars getting a lot smaller. He is driving away from this field almost 9/10 of a second now, so almost a full second. He is really setting sail right now, and done a better job with the tires than kind of what I thought. I thought, you know, him battling with Michael Muncie there for the lead position there earlier in this run, that might hurt him, that might drag him back, but we're seeing just the opposite. I mean, he was able to run the bottom, must have been taking his time, and obviously doing a great job tire conservation-wise.
Cook doing a great job of defending against the 79 right now. We've started lap 44 here. Well over halfway through this race now. Cook's done a good job of holding his spot up here in the top 5 after starting on the pole for the night. Mahalski's driven up through 7 other drivers to take the lead. Jordan Trask up 1 position. Stephen Davis up 13, sitting in 7th. Michael Jones in the 22. He's made his way to the top 10. Now in 9th, 19 positions up.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. Michael Jones, what a drive in that 22 machine. He's having a great day so far up inside the top 10. Jake Mackey right there behind him started 21st. He's up to 10th. And also looking a little bit further back, Matt Shinoski, 29th to 13th. So we got some big movers through this field, and starting towards the back, it can be tough. I mean, there's cars in just about every lane here, so sometimes you feel like there's nowhere to go. But kind of seeing these guys have really taken care of their stuff, and the longer we click off green flag laps, these guys are able to gain positions on their competition. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
That it has. Caleb Weekly now in the top 10 here as well. You have 5 positions so far this race. Looks like maybe a couple drivers falling out of the top 10, it looks like.
Jake Mackey on the top there, going to rip ahead, and he's going to surge down the back straightaway as we ride now on board with Caleb Weekly, that driver I mentioned that I believe had the best finish. Or no, that was Bryce Shoemaker, rather, that had the best finish in the Cup Series. But Caleb Weekly looking for a good night tonight here in the Challenger Series. He'll be doing double duty. He'll be in the Cup Series in the next generation cars at this very track following this race. So be sure to tune in to that as well right here on V-Speed at 10 p.m. Eastern. But right now he's got a mirror full of Judson Curtis, your winner from Daytona a couple of weeks ago, kind of breathing down his neck at the moment.
Got Michael Jones there in the 22 on the inside as well. Looks like a pit cycle has taken place now. Oh, sideways for the 22, sideways for the 29. And we have caution number 4. There goes the 73, locked him up. Jeremiah Holt, ooh, contact with the 29 right on the front end for Judson Curtis. That is not what you want to see for Daytona winner.
No, not at all. And we'll have to ride on board to see exactly what, all happened there, how those guys even came together. But, yeah, that was an odd wreck, especially middle of the back straightaway. You usually don't see stuff like that.
Right on top here of the 29 of Curtis. It is contact here between Curtis and Jones that started all this. A little bit of damage there on the 13 of Weekly. Just going for a gap that closed rather quickly.
Yeah, he had the run. He was going to try to split the middle on that gap, and it just closed up on him. So, and then big contact there, yeah, there with the 73. So that's going to hurt as well. Jeremiah Holt driving that 73 machine, going to be heavy damage with Judson Curtis in the 29. So Caleb Weekly, he just squeaked by this. I mean, he was so close to getting clipped and collected. So he kind of dodged a bullet here, but yeah, just two cars kind of going for the same space and going to spin them out. Michael Jones was a big mover up to that point as well. So all of that track position that he had just earned, all out the window now.
As quickly as it can come, it can go just as fast. And we saw it right there on display. Curtis into the pits. Now our leaders coming down pit road. Mahalski, Floyd, Trass, Muncie. Before Philip Brewer in the mix as well. Got a mixture of strategies out here now.
And this is going to be the final pit stop of the night. If we stay green, these guys can make it on fuel from this point. So this is kind of the money stop right here. Got to get out of that pit stall cleanly and quickly. Looks like Noam Halsey's going to be beaten out of pit road by Justin Ritchie in the 55. He's going to be the big winner on pit lane here.
As everybody else starts to sort back out here onto the track. Jeff, let's take a moment here and send it over to our sponsors just for a quick word with them. We'll be right back after a short commercial break.
What is up, everyone? I am Joshua Banks, driver of the number 35 Matco Tool Supra.
Banks, he's gonna send it to the inside. They're 3 wide for the race lead. They're gonna Joshua Banks is gonna win it. Unbelievable.
And also co-owner of M&J Distributors for the sponsor of Saturday Night Racing. So I just want to thank every single one of you for tuning into tonight's race. I hope you will put on a good show for you guys. I hope that you will enjoy it. So if you do, make sure you drop a thumbs up to V-Speed and subscribe to them, because they, as y'all know, if you haven't already, they put on some great broadcasts. So I'll make this short and sweet. The main reason for sponsoring Saturday Night Racing League is because I've been with these guys for a long time. I've raced with a lot of them. I've been through some rough times, some good times, and arguments and everything like that. But still, grand scheme of things, been through a lot of these guys, and I really do like where this league's going. I want to support it. They've given a lot to the league already, and I think, I'm capable to support back. So that's what we're doing, and we want to keep this league free, you know, for people to join, to have a good time, come in and race and just have fun, you know, and that's what we're all about. So that's the main reason, and that's all I really have to say about it. So I hope you do enjoy the race, enjoy the season coming up. We are hopefully going to put on a great season for you guys. Also, make sure to check out my YouTube channel, Banksy the iRacer. Link will be in the description. Check out, and you can see my point of view, see what's happening on my end. If you want to watch it, it's completely fine. If not, no big deal. So come on over, hang out after the broadcast of this race, and hopefully we'll see you over there. If not, enjoy it, and I'll see you guys on track.
Back here live from sunny California, where the sun is not currently shining on the track. We've got some cloud coverage, and that's going to bring that temperature down quite a bit. 76 degrees ambient air temperature with only 88 degrees out here on the track. Jeff, give us a quick rundown here before we see green about how that's going to affect the driving.
Well, you know, cooler temperatures is really going to grip up the racetrack. We're inside our fuel window now. We don't need to come to pit lane again unless we have a caution. So these guys are going to use every bit of that grip right now. As soon as this pace car turns off, look for these guys to be pushing, not holding back here. This is going to get interesting, to say the least.
Bury the flag man with the green flag in the air. And away we go one more time here. Justin Ritchie leading the charge on the restart.
Yeah, really good start there by Justin Ritchie. And as the control car, you can always get a good jump in. He was able to, get out of pit lane before Noah Michalski, who came in as the leader. That could be the race-winning move of the race, but here comes Noah Michalski. He wants that lead back, and he is yawing that race car out. Back to the lead goes Noah Michalski.
Sideways the 55 goes. He'll collect the 10, but no caution on the track. They straighten it back out. Only 2 cars down on the apron there. Michalski in the clear. Philip Brewer behind, sitting in second with Michael Muncy all over the back bumper.
That's just a result of the cold tires there. I mean, on the restart there, these guys are trying to get all they can. And, we know that this might be the last restart of the night. And so these guys are pushing hard going into turn 1. You saw Noah Michalski sideways, driving off the right rear there. And then, you saw Justin Ritchie get sideways and just wasn't able to gather it up. So no caution. We stay green now. Those guys are set back, but now your top 5 goes Michalski, Brewer, Muncy, Floyd, and Davis. See if these guys can make a run towards the front. And Philip Brewer, we mentioned somebody's been kind of just quietly sitting here in the top 5, finds himself in third, with a chance to maybe go get himself one. He's come close so many times in SNR.
On board with our third place runner at the moment, Michael Muncy, been consistent up here all night. A couple laps led for him as well. Up 3 positions overall. There he is there on the RSR Driver Cam. See just how much he's having to fight this car on the fresh tires. A little bit of counter steer coming through turns 1 and 2. A little bit of a connection issue as well. So we'll get on to somebody else here before more issues arise. Michalski, Brewer, Muncy, Floyd, Davis make up your top 5. A little bit further back here, we've got the 10. I believe that's the incorrect number. No, we do have a 10. Jake Mackey's just a lap down up here in the runnings around the top of the field.
And Mackey was one of those drivers that was running inside the top 10 not long ago, so not exactly sure what happened there. I don't know if he got involved in an accident that we didn't catch.
He got wrapped in. Mackey got wrapped up there with Ritchie on the backstretch incident that did not bring out the caution. That was the other driver there. Luckily, no damage for either one of them. Just lost a lot of ground that's very hard to gain back here without cautions. We're within 20 laps to go, rather 21 laps at the moment. Battle starting to form just outside the top 10 here. Matt Shinosky in the 31. Jeremy Reed in the 94. Looking to overtake here. See if he'll take the high line through 3 and 4. He does. Really get the momentum that he needs.
How about Tad Dabney and Bradley Cooper? What a rebound for both those guys. now running, you know, 9th and 10th. So those are some guys that found themselves towards the back. I think got into a little bit of trouble tonight. I know Cooper did, able to get some of that repaired, and he's back up here battling inside the top 10. So very impressive for him. Awesome to see that. Bryce Shoemaker finding himself in 8th. You know, he's kind of started there towards the back as well. And, you know, when it's go time, you see these guys really start to make a surge to the front, and inside 20 laps to go here, I mean, it is go time. So we're going to see these guys lay it out, all out on the line now.
On board now with the 2 of Bradley Cooper. Had to bring him up here. He's got a driver cam as well on the night. Luckily enough for me, Jeff, he does not have a picture of my face on a pair of socks like I do of his.
Yeah, we see those quite a bit every single week. We always got the socks from your driver cam. I know it always catches Mr. Cooper off guard a little bit, but it's always fun to know that we got some creative cameras out there on the driver cams, to say the least.
Well, if you can't be first, you might as well be a fan favorite. That's my philosophy behind it. But again, Bradley Cooper with a fantastic recovery back up into the 10th position. Not enough damage to keep him out of this race. But big mover of the night as of right now, Ben Laffer in the 64, up 25 positions now to the 6th spot on the field. Laffer, another driver who does have a driver cam. We'll get that up here as well.
Yeah, and I believe you can search him on YouTube as well. I believe he live streams his races. If not, I know he uploads the race after the fact. So you search Ben Laffer on YouTube and get some pretty cool vantage points from his in-car all race long. And so far, he's finding himself in a pretty good spot here, too, trying to crack the top 5 with Stephen Davis just ahead there in the 60.
He doesn't have a whole lot of challenge off the back bumper. It's Bryce Shoemaker back there in the 54. He's got some cars within striking distance just ahead. He needs to really focus on, see if he can catch up to him here, do anything about it.
Bradley Cooper still continuing to charge up through the field. Finds himself in 8th now. Caleb Weekly 9th. Michael Jones got spun, not too long ago, all the way towards the back, and now Michael Jones right back up in it as well there in the 22, trying to get to the outside there of Tad Dabney for the 10th place position. And we're going to be 3 wide here momentarily down the front straightaway. Just Auto Club Speedway just always putting on the action here, whether that's the battle for the lead at the front, through the middle, towards the back. You got battles pretty much everywhere, and this track really allows for that.
Well, that's another thing to take note of. Morgan Cook, who was running at the front of the race for most of it, set the pole on the night. He's sitting back here in 16th spot. I didn't quite catch what Cook got wrapped up in, unless it was just that pit cycle with that caution flag coming out in between. Doing something there to the 51 machine that set him quite a ways back in the field from where he's been all night long.
Yeah, unfortunate. I mean, definitely was a factor in somebody that was going to be a threat to win the race. So, unfortunately, he finds himself here towards the back and trying to battle his way forward. But kind of cool in the chat. I know we've been talking a lot about Bradley Cooper tonight, and we actually got, it sounds like his son in the chat here watching tonight's broadcast, cheering Dad on. So that's pretty cool. I'll tell you what, your dad's doing a pretty good job right now, up in the 8th position. Started towards the back, and he is wheeling that thing right now. I know he's known for, being a great broadcaster and doing, so many things for V-Speed. But tonight he's out here and he is wheeling this race car. So big props to Bradley Cooper. It's good to see him have a good run. He's done a lot, I know, for, V-Speed, all the different leagues that, Logan, that you guys all cover. But he's also just been such an awesome advocate for, Saturday Night Racing League and everything we do, working with us. So you can't help but root for Bradley Cooper tonight here in that 2 machine, and he's having a great race.
Especially with the ups and downs that he's experienced. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster here on the track for the 2. But again, a great recovery already. Pre-race talking to Bradley, it was all about, trying to finish in a top 10 position here. He'd be happy with it, but he's got the pace to do so much more than just top 10.
Yeah, now he's working on Bryce Shoemaker here for the 7th spot and sends it down in. And it looks like he's managed to get most of that damage repaired. And I know damage on iRacing is kind of weird, especially in this race car. I mean, it always seems like you can get all that damage repaired, but you're always going to have some sort of aero damage that kind of lingers, you know, even if iRacing says you got to completely fix. So the fact that he is still on the move, picking cars off right now, that just shows that Bradley Cooper is a wheel man. And I know, like you said, he was looking forward to this race. He's normally up in the booth, but I think he's showing why this is one of his better racetracks.
I completely understand why he chose this one and said, no, it's my turn to be in the car. Trust me.
He forced you out, didn't he, Logan?
Yeah, pretty much, but I
He
won't
didn't have a
complain. As long as he continues on with a good finish here, I'll be happy with it as well. But up towards the front, Philip Brewer, he's starting to close that gap now on the 03 of Noah Michalski. Michalski's kind of ran away with it there for a little bit. As these laps are closing to within 10 to go, this time by will be 11 left on the board. Philip Brewer within a striking distance to take home a win here tonight. Michael Muncy, Dakota Floyd, Stephen Davis right there behind. They need to find some extra momentum here. See if they can do anything to at least claim one of these 3 podium positions.
And the only driver right now that's really comfortable venturing out to the top side of the racetrack, it looks to be Dakota Floyd at the moment. And with 10 laps to go, you know, these guys got to start considering that. If you're Philip Brewer right now, I think he feels like he's in a spot where he's pretty content at the moment as he kind of peeks to the inside here of Noah Michalski. But, you know, eventually I feel like we're going to see these guys have to use the entire racetrack, you know, whether that means go all the way to the top or dive it in really deep. But I'll tell you one thing, it's not easy to pass, you know, with the dirty air that this car provides, you know. And we talk about this being multi-lane racetrack, but with as tight as the setup is tonight already, you add the dirty air on top of that, and it's going to be very, very tough to complete a pass. So I bet you Philip Brewer, he's thinking of all the different ways on how he can complete this pass, and he's got some time left to do it, but it's going to be go time here pretty soon. He's going to have to pull something.
Is right behind Dakota Floyd, making a move now on Muncy. He's going to take advantage of the inside line here, and he's going to put the 57 in 3rd place. But going back a little bit here to Philip Brewer, now is the perfect time. You're within 10 to go. This time by will be 9. But within 10 to go, you got to start trying out some different lines. See what's going to work for you as we come to that checkered flag being in the air. White flag, checkered flag, that's crunch time. You got to know what works before then. You can't wait until the last lap to try a move that may or may not work out for you. Philip Brewer right now appears to be sizing up the 03 of Michalski. We'll see how it pans out here in just a few short laps. 3rd place, the battle is still hot. Muncy back down to the bottom line. Floyd high up on the racetrack. Keeps it in front of the 19 machine this time by.
And Brewer is starting to get some runs here on Noah Michalski. He is starting to try those different lines. And now if you're Noah, you kind of got to, you know, start thinking about, do you try to take his line away? Do you start trying to run the top? Because the biggest thing here is if you're the leader, you don't want to give up the right side of your race car. If somebody's going to try to pass me, I want them to do it on the bottom of the racetrack. It just gives me more control. So I have to see if Noah starts mirror driving here, trying to prevent, you know, anybody from getting to his outside and really challenging him for this race win.
It's so tough to say on timing because everything can have so many different variables. You know, as a defender, you have to pay attention to your tires. As a attacker, you have to pay attention to your tires. Like I said, you got to balance the attempts of seeing what move is going to work over actually attacking for the move and making sure that you save enough on your tires to do it whenever it's time to go.
And how about this? We see Stephen Davis now working over Michael Muncy. Slots back in line for now, but I mean, he is trying to get around this 19 as well, and he's using different lines going towards the top. But Philip Brewer, this is about the closest we've seen him so far, trying to get underneath the 03 here of Noah Michalski. Laps are clicking down here. Every single lap now, this is going to heat up even more. And just lingering behind Dakota Floyd in the 57. he's not too far back. If these guys get together, he could have a shot at this thing.
Stephen Davis just overtook Michael Muncy there for the 4th spot. He's going to be almost 3 wide there with Dakota Floyd on the outside. Not quite, though. Davis should get a good run here as it's starting to heat up even more now. Brewer to the inside of Mahalski through turns 3 and 4. He's going to get the advantage coming out of 4 and put the 44 on top of the board.
Finds himself in the race lead when it counts. But don't count this out yet. Don't count out Noah Mahalski in the 03. He's got some time here. I'm sure he's going to think of a way to get back around this 44, whether he needs to send it in on the top or towards the bottom. He's going to elect to go towards the top, but Philip Brewer's going to mirror drive it, not let any air get to the front of that car. Now you see Noah try to dip down, but now it looks like the 44 is the stronger race car at this point. But it's heating up. This is about to get good, Logan.
Well, we've got a quick second. Let's go check in on some of these other race cars here around that 10th place spot. Caleb Weekly holding on to 9th right now. Jeremiah Holt takes a look to the inside. Matt Shanoski had a decent run. He's on the inside of Holt. Almost on the inside of Holt, rather. The 78, we've got some lap traffic in the mix here. That's Edward Fiedler at the back of that pack. Bradley Cooper there at the bottom of the track. Bryce Shoemaker in tow. Starting to sort back out here. We'll hop back up to the front as we're 4 to go. About 3.5 now. Coming down the back stretch. It's crunch time. Who's going to make the move? Who's going to be able to block the move whenever it comes? It's Noah Mahalski to the inside of Philip Brewer. And it's going to pay off as he's going to be door to door on corner exit, coming back to a drag race to the finish line to bring us to 3 to go.
Yeah, and he's trying to dump some air on the spoiler, but it just couldn't quite stay even with them now. So he's going to have to try to, dig into that bag of tricks here, see what he can come up with. Laps are clicking away. 3 to go now here at the Auto Club Speedway.
Brewer, Mahalski, Floyd, Davis, Muncy. It's been a battle up here for the last 15 laps. Muncy finally starting to fall out of the picture and leaving this as a 4-horse race. Mahalski back to the inside. He's doing his testing now. Let's see what he's got in store once that white flag is out.
He might stay even with him now. He's got to get up, try to dump some air there on the spoiler of Philip Brewer, but just can't quite do it. It's going to slip back in line here. 2 to go this time by. And now this is where, the heart rate is up, the heart rate is pumping. You're running out of time. You got to make something happen here. And Dakota Floyd, right behind them, something happens. He could be in position to steal this one away.
And he could. It's now or never for some of these drivers. Brewer down on the racetrack, take away any potential draft from Mahalski, who elected not to follow. Stays right in line this time through 3 and 4. Didn't look to the bottom like he had the last 2 laps. Mahalski certainly setting up Brewer right now for a late race move. 1 to go. White flag is out. Philip Brewer, Noah Mahalski. Who's going to do it? Dakota Floyd in a perfect position if either one of these drivers make a mistake, or both of them, to come away with the win here. Brewer keeps it through the middle of the track. Mahalski high on the corner exit. He'll slot right back in, but immediately to the inside. Try to get a run down the back stretch. He's going to slot back in. No, he's going to stay low through 3 and 4. It hasn't paid off the other 2 laps he tried it. Will it be any different this time? It doesn't appear to be. Brewer's going to get the drive off of the corner. Checkered flag in the air. And Philip Brewer takes home the race win here at Auto Club.
What a finish to the end there by Brewer and Mahalski. I mean, that's good, hard racing right there. They kept it clean. They didn't need to run into each other. They battled hard, but they battled with respect. And that's something as a spectator that you just love to see. And I know this one hurts for Noah again. I mean, he feels like he could have won at Texas. Feels like he had a great shot tonight. But Philip Brewer timing it perfectly, saving the tires, completed the pass with just about 5 to go, able to hold on and gets his first career S&R Challenger Series win at Auto Club Speedway.
A fantastic drive from Philip Brewer. I could have swore he won one in season 1, Jeff, in the trucks.
in the Challenger Series, I believe. I do believe, no, he came close. He battled with Brian Chambliss at Homestead, came very close. Wasn't able to quite get one last year. But hey, that's all out the window. He's burning it down here on the front straightaway at Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. This one's got to feel really good. And he's been racing here quite a while, you know, through the Cup Series, through the Challenger Series. He's been a dedicated member of this league and finally breaks through, gets the win, and you can tell the excitement right now as he burns it down. This one's got to feel good for Philip. He's been working out this for a while.
A big time celebration there for Philip Brewer. We'll take it right back to a quick commercial break. Take a word from our sponsor here for the Challenger Series on Saturday nights. And we'll be right back for post-race coverage and interviews with our top 3 finishers. Stick around.
What is up, everyone? I am Joshua Banks, driver of the number 35 Matco Tool Supra.
Comes back. He's going to send it to the inside. They're 3 wide for the race lead. They're going to so Banks is going to win it. Unbelievable.
And also co-owner of M&J Distributors for the sponsor of Saturday Night Racing. So I just want to thank every single one of you for tuning into tonight's race. I hope you will put on a good show for you guys. I hope that you will enjoy it. So if you do, make sure you drop a thumbs up to V-Speed and subscribe to them because they, as y'all know, if you haven't already, they put on some great broadcasts. So I'll make this short and sweet. The main reason for sponsoring Saturday Night Racing League is because I've been with these guys for a long time. I've raced with a lot of them. I've been through some rough times, some good times, and arguments and everything like that. But still, grand scheme of things, been through a lot of these guys, and I really do like where this league's going. I want to support it. They've given a lot to the league already, and I think, you know, I'm capable to support back. So that's what we're doing, and we want to keep this league free, you know, for people to join, to have a good time, come in and race and just have fun, you know, and that's what we're all about. So that's the main reason, and that's all I really have to say about it. So I hope you do enjoy the race, enjoy the season coming up. We are hopefully going to put on a great season for you guys. Also, make sure to check out my YouTube channel, Banksy the iRacer. Link will be in the description. Check out, and you can see my point of view, see what's happening on my end. If you want to watch it, it's completely fine. If not, no big deal. So come on over, hang out after the broadcast of this race, and hopefully we'll see you over there. If not, enjoy it, and I'll see you guys on track.
And we're back here for our post-race coverage of the SNR Challenger Series, where we saw a fantastic battle all night long. Let's get right into our results, Jeff. What do you say?
Absolutely. What a race this was.
Can't complain whatsoever. 'Cause eventually it will pop up on the screen, I do promise. Slowly but surely. A little bit of technical difficulties, I guess. Well. I haven't quite seen this one yet, but we'll go ahead and roll through it, I guess. And as we saw, Philip Brewer taking home the win here tonight with the 44 machine. 4 cautions on the night, 11 lead changes on the night. Noah Mahalski will take a second place finish for the 03, followed by the 57 of Dakota Floyd to make up our podium positions here. Stephen Davis takes the 60 to 4th place on the night, followed by Michael Muncy in the 19. Then Laughter in the 64 will take the 6th finishing position, followed by V-Speed's very own Bradley Cooper with a solid recovery back to 7th place. Bryce Shoemaker takes the 54 up to 8th on the night, followed by the 31 of Matt Shanoski, and last but not least in our top 10, the 73 of Jeremiah Holt.
In the 11th finishing position tonight, it was Caleb Weekly in that 13 machine. Behind him in 12th, Morgan Cook qualified on the pole, led a lot of laps, was up front most of the night. Didn't have it quite there at the end. Have strategy come together. He gets 12th. Keith Shoemaker, 13th on the night. Tad Dabney, 14th. Jeremy Reed will get the 15th position. Benjamin Richards up from 33rd all the way to 16th. Good run for him. Austin Belkey will finish in the 17th position. Max Koss, he gets 18th tonight. Brian Hennings in 19th, and Michael Jones falls back to 20th after a pretty good run. Saw him crack the top 10, gets into a bit of an incident, falls back to 20th.
So not a bad night for Michael Jones there by any means. Like you said, saw him kind of all throughout the field in that 22. 21st goes to Jordan Trass in the 79, followed by the 07 of Broderick Vaklovic. The 25 of Matt Dominique will take the 23rd finishing position, followed by the 10 of Jake Mackey. The 20 of Timothy Peters, rough night for that team there, and 25th, down 3 spots from where he started. Rob Denton in the 93 will take the 26th position, followed by Judson Curtis after the contact with the 10 late in the race there. The 29 finishes 27th. Edward Fiedler in the 78 will take the 28th spot, followed by the 32 of Chris Rude. And last but not least, in our top 30, Justin Ritchie in the 55.
Brandon Wallace gets 31st after getting in one of those wrecks. He falls back, goes 32 laps down. Mark Cofield also involved in an accident. He gets 32nd. And 33rd, the final car, Rob Hamp, also involved in that early wreck.
There's our results as stated there. 4 cautions on the night. That's the most we've seen so far out of these Challenger Series drivers. 11 lead changes. But let's get right into our podium finishers here. I've got standing by our 3rd place spot of Dakota Floyd down here near the winner's circle, not quite in it. But Dakota Floyd, Jeff, and Logan up here in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy, buddy?
I got a copy.
Well, you had a great race consistently up front pretty well all night long. What more did you need here tonight to put it at the top step of the podium?
I just get farther forward sooner. I just didn't have the tires at the end of the race to catch to those front two. I kept them within half a second the whole time, and all our tires just ended up plateauing, and I couldn't get to them. And we were all running the same line in both sides of the track, and it is what it is. I just didn't have enough towards the end.
Well, still a good race. You were close up there. You started out here in 3rd. You finished in 3rd, so can't complain by any means. Just a pretty solid, consistent race overall. And that's one of my favorite things to say is consistency is key. Dakota Floyd, we're going into a couple more races here this season that you've got a good chance of really coming out ahead. We saw you take home the Season 1 championship. What are we looking at going into the next couple races? Which ones are you really looking forward to over the course of the next couple weeks?
Oh, I'll tell you what. I think Old Atlanta's coming up soon, and I'm really looking forward to that track. I usually have really good success there. Sonoma, I'm pretty good in this car, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. There's definitely quite a few tracks I'm looking forward to that I think I can equalize the points out a little bit, maybe sneak away a win finally. But just looking to keep putting consistent finishes on the board after a really rough opening 2 weeks. So tonight is the start of hopefully some consistent top 5s like I was doing last season a whole bunch. So hopefully you see me up front and maybe in the broadcast booth a little bit more in the next coming races.
Sounds like a plan, buddy. Anybody you'd like to say thanks to for your 3rd place finish here tonight?
Well, definitely got to thank the team. Everyone ran pretty good races. I know Morgan really got shot on the strategy there, and I really hate it for him because I definitely think that was his race to win, bar none. He was fast the whole night, and he just got really unlucky with the yellow there. But everybody stuck it out, and couldn't ask for better teammates. Thank you guys up at the broadcast booth. Always awesome to go back and watch these races. You guys do a phenomenal job in both series. Thank you SNR guys for bringing Challenger Series back and really ramping it up since last season. I mean, adding playoffs and more races is more than we can ask for. And thanks to the field, big field, and really good racing up front. So really can't ask for much more.
Well, again, fantastic job here tonight, Dakota. We'll see you in about an hour with the Cup Series kicks off at the same spot here at Auto Club.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys.
3rd place on the night, the 57 of Dakota Floyd. Standing by, we've got 2nd place of Noah Mahalski, who Jeff has caught up with here.
I'm standing alongside the 03 here of Noah Mahalski, and no, I know it's kind of more of the same, so close, but just not quite enough there. What all did you need there to be able to hold off Philip Brewer in the closing laps, and just take us through your night as a whole?
I think honestly, I needed to probably start moving up the track a little bit sooner. I didn't think there was going to be as much speed up there in 1 and 2 as there was. I mean, normally run the bottom, kind of save your tires more. And I mean, I felt like I had the tires. I feel like if we could have maybe ran maybe one more lap, maybe two more laps, we could have got back around him, or at least side by side. But I don't know. I don't know much what else I could have done besides just maybe paying more attention back behind and what the guys were doing and not being arrogant and thinking, oh, well, they're not going to catch me that way.
It seems like kind of through the middle part of that race, some of the guys got to battling, and you were battling. I know Michael Muncie there for a while, and after that battle settled, we saw you really kind of run out to about a second lead over the entire pack. I mean, when you were battling Muncie like that, we thought, oh, this might chew up the tires, but that wasn't the case. You were able to go off and kind of drive away. What was it about the middle portions of the run that really got you comfortable, really kind of separated yourself from the rest of the pack before that next caution immediately fell?
Well, I wasn't trying to push too hard on the bottom to get around him. I was thinking, well, if I'm on the bottom, I'm probably going to be saving my stuff a little bit better than him, and eventually the tires are going to wear, and I'm going to get around him, and then I'll just have the clean air. I think that's kind of what probably played into me thinking they weren't going to catch me running the bottom like that. Yeah, I don't really know.
Seems like the speed has been there this season. Obviously, Texas, we saw how strong you were tonight. Again, 36 laps led on the night. We go out to Phoenix, and I know that you're still chasing that win that you want. What's it going to take to go out to the desert in Phoenix and have a good run and maybe compete for another win here and try to get yourself in that win column?
I think it's gonna take a little bit of luck. I haven't raced around some of these guys, so I don't know how they're gonna drive. Like what happened at Texas last time we raced. I haven't raced around some of these guys, so I don't know exactly what they're gonna do. So I just need to be careful around people. Kind of, when we have some luck on our side, and just hit my marks and be able to finish a race. Because we're not able to do that last season. So hopefully we can change that this season. Try to dig ourselves out of that point hole.
Well, no, the speed's been there all season. I know that win's coming for you. But before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah. Like to shout out my roommate and girlfriend for watching the broadcast, cheer me on every week. Fanatec, AutoZone, Strobel Auto Repair, main sponsor on the car, and then all the league sponsors that help make this be a thing every week, and then you guys up in the booth for broadcasting it. You guys do a great job.
Well, we appreciate the kind words. That's Noah Mahalski, P2 on the night. Noah, thanks for talking with us.
Thank you.
So that was Noah Mahalski, runner-up finisher tonight here at Auto Club Speedway. Now we get down to the race winner, the number 44 of Philip Brewer is standing alongside Logan Threlkeld right now.
Yeah, we got Philip Brewer down here, top step of the podium on the night. First time in the Challenger Series for the 44 team. Philip, how are the emotions right now getting that first win in the Challenger Series?
Oh man, I'm freaking stoked. I didn't think it was going to happen today. I was treading water there for a while, and I mean, I just, yeah, I don't even know how it happened.
Well, you made it happen, and that's all that matters. You had 6 laps led, and the most important one being right there at the very end as we saw you overtake the 03 of Noah Mahalski. Then the last 2 laps, you were able to keep it out ahead, defend that position there. Was that what you had planned on coming to the closing laps of the race, or did you have something in mind? We saw you sizing up Mahalski there for about 5 to 10 laps before that, before you finally made that move.
I mean, I could tell I was a little better in 3 and 4, but I was just terrible through 1 and 2. And then once Floyd got around the 19, and I saw him run the top, and I was like, all right, it's game on. And I went up there just trying to get a good run into 3 and 4, and I knew once I could get there, it'd be done. And then once I got around him, it was just about protecting the right rear.
You did a good job of it, buddy. And again, first win on the whole series at Auto Club, none other. It's not an easy track by any means. What did it take to keep such a consistent front-running race throughout the entirety of the race tonight?
I'd say cool head. Felt like everybody was running real hard, and I was just getting dove on left and right. Kind of dropped back there out of the top 10 for a little bit. Got hit 3 wide, but stayed in it. Got some luck to get up front and chase down the 03.
A great win here tonight, Philip. Is there anybody you'd like to say thanks to for putting the 44 on the top step of the podium?
I want to say thanks to my homie Dave. He called me right after I won. About to go on Discord with him and get hyped.
Short and sweet. Can't complain there. But Philip, again, congratulations on your first win of the series. We'll see you next week at Phoenix, buddy.
Thanks, man. I'll see you.
Go celebrate, my man. Well, Jeff, that wraps things up here for the SNR Challenger Series. We are going to roll right into about an hour from now where the SNR Cup Series will make their way out here to Auto Club as well. Jeff, give us a quick rundown what we're expecting here coming up from the Cup Series drivers.
Yeah, it's going to look a little bit different than we saw tonight. Obviously, the next-gen cars are an animal of their own, so drive way different than the Xfinity cars. The Xfinity cars are kind of known for being tight, and they push through the corners. This next-gen car is going to be on edge, so you're going to really see these drivers really working that wheel to not only gain ground, but also just stay on the track and not spin out. Could be chaotic, and I know everybody viewing tonight, if you're ready for some action, be sure to tune in tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, as the Cup Series goes live right here from Auto Club Speedway.
We will be right there in just a short 45 minutes. But as always, I've been Logan Threlkeld, alongside me, Jeff Wright, who you consistently see up here for these Challenger Series races. But for everybody behind the scenes at SNR, everybody behind the scenes at V-Speed, Bradley Cooper, Adam Baker, Morgan Cook, who we saw in the field tonight, Eddie Smith, all of our other producers and commentators behind the scenes. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, and if you did, please give a like and subscribe so you never miss another race. But stick around here, as we'll be right back with the SNR Cup Series at Auto Club. Good night, everybody. We'll see you in just a short while.